Despite inflation, despite the economy, the Walt Disney World Resort is charging folks a higher percentage of their household income than perhaps ever before if they want to visit the happiest place on earth. Yes, I know it's Disneyland, but you know what? We'll use it for Disney World. It's just too good, folks. Today, we're going to tell you exactly how much you're going to pay if you try to go visit the Sunshine State to see Mickey and the rest of the gang. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel. We are streaming to you live from a studio from somewhere sunny USA. Well, except for Jonas, but he's in another sunshiny kind of place. Jonas, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, and thank you for differentiating the happiest place on earth from the most magical place on earth. That's,
yes, I knew, but I just had to say it. I had to say it. It was too perfect. Folks, let's dive in, and as we do, you click the like button. Business Insider is our starting point today. Daryl Austin, the author who makes it all possible. And this is one heck of an article because it shows, I think, to the audience out there exactly what we have been looking at, Jonas, over the past years. And sometimes we have folks out there who say, well, you guys are just always negative about Disney, or, you know, there's some kind of problem. Why do you guys even care about covering this company if you dislike it so much? And, you know, the truth could not be farther away from that, which is, Jonas, you and I think, I don't want to speak on your behalf, but we enjoy the legacy of Disney. We greatly admire what Disney once was. It's this new incarnation of Disney that's a real problem, and I find it problematic when folks won't point out, you know, where there are flaws in Disney because they're so scared. Oh no, I'm going to lose my opportunity to ride the ride a day early. I'm going to lose my special media pass. No, and it's like, come on, just, you know, admit that we've got an issue here. This is the issue I see. The article called "How My Family of Six Spent Nearly $9,000 on a Disney Vacation and What We'll Do Differently Next Time." Jonas, $9,000 for a family of six. I don't know if you've looked at this lately, but the most recent census report we have shows that for a median household in the United States, after taxes, they have $64,240 left to go to spend. And what that means is, Jonas, we're somewhere between 1/6 and 1/7 of average median U.S. household. I know math people, don't get mad at me for saying that, but the median household, 1/6 to 1/7 of their entire income being spent in whatever this article suggests, you know, happened at this Disney World vacation. Jonas, is that sustainable for Disney, do you think?
No, I don't think it is, unless you're only going for the super rich, which is, I think, the thing that they are going for here. If you look at most of their advertising spend, they've announced that they're going to be spending less on linear television. I think that the only reason they haven't stopped doing that is probably because they know those grandparents still watch linear television. They are wanting for those high dollar pocket people to pay for these big trips, and letting the populists squirm here. Let them suffer if they want to go to Disney World.
And this is not the original vision of Walt, of course. Walt, he wanted everyone to be able, as long as you were well behaved and acting in a decent manner, he wanted everyone to get to enjoy this. And Disney has significantly strayed from that. Let's read the article, though. It says, over spring break, my wife and I took our 4 children from Utah to Southern California for a week at Disneyland. Hey, I did get this right. It is the happiest place on earth. Look at me. But folks, you can pretty much translate this over to Disney World as well. They're about equally expensive. For the 5-day Disneyland portion of our visit, we spent $2,664 for 6 nights at a Courtyard by Marriott hotel. So they're not staying at the Grand Californian. They're not staying at the Disneyland hotel. They're staying at a Marriott, and they spent that much. Gas, that was $251 from Utah to California. Parking, $210. But look at this, and this is I would say approximating what you'll find in Florida. $4,170 on Disneyland park tickets, including $2,820 for the base tickets. And I love this, Jonas, because now the articles are beginning to include the cost of Genie Plus right into the tickets. I love this because it's accurate. Disney has not raised the ticket prices necessarily greatly, although they're going to next year. But what they have done is they've made it so that if you want to enjoy the rides, you've got to spend way more money on that ticket so that you're not just sitting there people watching for all that money you spent to get through the turnstiles. $900 on Genie Plus. $900. And $450 for the option to park hop between parks. And you can see.
I cannot fathom paying that much money. That is not an amount of money that I've seen. I've been to Walt Disney World many times. I've not been to Disneyland yet, but I cannot fathom paying $4,000 to get my family into the park. It is not worth it.
No, well, you know, I hate to say that too, Jonas, but I agree with you. It's not. Now, I just want to put this out there for everybody. This is not a crazy amount. So for a family of 6, right, $4,170 divided amongst 6 people, that's basically $700 per person for this trip to Disneyland. And I think that's on par with Disney World. The problem that I have, Jonas, with this is, if I could just show you very quickly. Let me show you this tab.
I know the exact problem here. I know the exact problem.
Please.
Someone from Disney is going to be watching this video, and I just want to say hello. And I know what you're thinking. Well, why didn't they stay on property?
Well, I'm sure that would have made the price go down. Sure. No, I don't think so. No, folks, if you stay on property, you're spending much, much more. Now, this is the problem, Jonas. Let's go to Disney World, where the prices, again, remember, are rather equivalent. They're close to the same. If we go to Hollywood Studios, which is one of the theme parks at Walt Disney World, I just want to show you what people are getting for their money's worth. So we've got Slinky Dog Dash, Rise of the Resistance, and by the way, these are showing average wait times. And partially, I guess I'm showing this to people because what's happening right now, wait times are actually going up in May, yet crowd levels seem to be going down. And so folks have been asking me, how can that possibly be? Look at this. You've got Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. Then you have Meet Disney Stars. That's not a ride. That's not a ride. Toy Story Mania, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, Alien Swirling Saucers, Meet Olaf. That's not a ride. Muppet Vision 3D. That's a theater. It's not a ride. Star Tours. And then just Hollywood Studios, which I'm assuming is Fantasmic under a different name. But let's count the things that you can do, Jonas, at Hollywood Studios right now. Rides, okay? 1, we'll count Muppet Vision for things you can do. 2, yes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are currently, Jonas, 9 attractions for people to enjoy at Hollywood Studios.
What are the 3 rides that are down here? Are they counting? They're not counting Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular here. So
correct.
There's 2 other things that must be missing from this
Rock
list.
and Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster is down right now.
Okay.
And I'd have to think about what the Lightning McQueen, which is debatable whether that's worth even going to see.
Right. And this just speaks to the fact that we know that there are only 12 rides at Hollywood Studios right now.
Yes. Exactly. But the problem is Hollywood Studios, Rise of the Resistance is always down, or is often down. So now let's look at this. Let's go back. Because again, Disneyland and Disney World, rather similar. How my family of 6 spent nearly $9,000 on a Disney vacation. Can you imagine, Jonas? Now, Disneyland is different because Disneyland proper has tons of rides, California Adventure less. But can you imagine spending this money at Disney World and you go to Hollywood Studios and you're waiting 2 hours in line for these rides, not because they're super popular, but because there's nothing to do. And so everybody's just standing waiting for the very few rides that are available, especially if one goes down. This doesn't seem to me to be a wise idea for Disney. And I think this is why Bob Iger in the last few days has been saying they cannot sustain double-digit growth at the parks anymore. I would suggest it's not because the parks don't have the capability of continuing that growth. It's because they have not invested in greater capacity and they have not invested wisely. What's your take on that, Jonas?
No, I think you're absolutely right. And Bob Iger recently said at the Moffett-Nathanson conference that when they say they are investing in capacity, he specifically laid that out as cruise ships and DVC. So nothing that actually increases the capacity of the park. If they're talking about expansion of the parks themselves and the rides and the things that you can do at the park, those are all things that are 5 to 10 years away. Because it takes them 6 years to build one ride. So Disneyland Forward, that is something that we'll be talking about in 2033 as opposed to 2025.
And so many people don't understand that. They don't get it. But let me show you this article, Jonas. This is out of WDW Magic. I just want everybody to see that we're on the money with crowd levels are dropping.
Yes.
Crowd levels are dropping. The wait times are going up. How can that be? Again, it's because they have rides down and they have so few things to do, especially in Hollywood Studios, which is skewing everything. That's how you get in this situation where diminishing crowds, increasing wait times, nobody's having fun when that's going on. This is an article that says good to go days for Walt Disney World annual pass holders added in late May. Now, why would they add these in late May? They add them because they don't anticipate that they'll have very large crowds there, and they need to fill the parks a little bit. So Disney has added the 3 good to go days for Walt Disney World annual pass holders in late May 2024. The latest good to go day additions are May 19th, 20th, and 22nd. Reservation-free days of admission at all 4 Walt Disney World theme parks. That's including Magic Kingdom. Disney says that good-to-go days will be added periodically and may be released days or weeks in advance. Note that blackout days will apply according to the tier of the annual pass. So they're adding these days, Jonas, where if you're an AP holder, you just show up. Just show up. Please show up. Please, we beg you, show up.
This is just adding to the lexicon of things that people have to know in order to enjoy a Disney vacation as well. That's the other aspect that isn't discussed in this article. Those good to go days, of course, you buy your tickets, then you go and search on the website for a reservation day in order to get there. By the way, if you have an annual pass holder on those, there might be a circle, or there might be a half filled in circle, and then around that there might be a border on it, and the border ones, those are the good to go days. Just speaking to the information overload that you have to drink from the fire hose in order to enjoy a Disney vacation anymore.
Well, let's take a look at this, Jonas. These are the ideas that this family came up with in terms of how you can save money. They said that driving instead of flying saved money. Now remember, they spent what is equivalent to perhaps between 1/6 and 1/7 of the entire median average income of a U.S. household after taxes. So, you're spending a lot for a single week of your existence, right? You might have to cut back significantly if you're an average middle-class family. But they said driving saved a lot of money. So they're happy about this. Not staying at one of Disney's on-site hotels saved them a lot of money, they say. They saved money by not doing character dining experiences and sharing on most of their meals. So, Jonas, they lived like paupers. They stayed off-site. They drove in the family station wagon, right? They could not enjoy character dining. They're sharing their meals, trying to find every penny they can pinch on this, and yet they're still spending 1/6 to 1/7 of the average income or median income. Mathematicians,
I'm just going to point this out. I have a family of 6. The last time that we went to Walt Disney World, or Orlando, I should say, because we didn't go to Walt Disney World, we stayed off property, and it cost us $250 per person for 5 days. So $1,250 on tickets to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, and my kids had a blast.
You're bringing up the weak point for Disney, Jonas, and that is we're bringing this back to Epic Universe. Bob Iger just said, and I think this scared the living daylights out of investors, that Epic Universe is not a concern. Given what you just said, the amount of money that you spent to go to Universal Studios, which we believe will be something close to what you'll spend to go to Epic Universe, I think Disney is in trouble with Disney World. I think in Disneyland they're in trouble already, but I think Disney World is in trouble on market share. Give us your thoughts on that, and Jonas also, what do you think is going to happen with prices being this high?
I think that Disney is going to continue to offer discounts. I don't think they can lower prices because Wall Street is watching. Wall Street does not react actually that much at all to theme park news, which is a fascinating thing for us to watch. No financial advice whatsoever on this channel. Do not take financial advice from us on where the stock price might go, because there are so many outside forces that affect Disney as an S&P 30 component. When we talk about Epic Universe, that is a state-of-the-art theme park. That is probably going to be the most technologically state-of-the-art theme park in existence for
I can confirm, Jonas. I have a contact who's working on some of that, and it's definitely going to be state-of-the-art. Continue on, please.
It's amazing, some of the things that they're talking about within there, to the point where we've even noted, like, okay, maybe you're going a little too far here, but it's not going to affect guest experience. They also, after Epic Universe, not to mention the expansion pads that they have that they can expand Epic Universe, not to mention the theme park that they can build right next to it. They've got 100 acres free to go, or the fact that they've got Universal Kids. I'm going to mention something that is not a fair comparison, but this is Disney's own fault for creating this. Somebody came after me on online because I said that DreamWorks Land over at Universal Studios, which is a retheme, it's paint and it's using what exists there. It used to be Fievel and Woody Woodpecker.
Mine is Shrek's new house.
Right, right. There are some cool new things in there that people are going to like a lot. I compared Journey of Water in DreamWorks Land, and I said obviously DreamWorks Land costs less, and so we're like, of course,
so much less.
Yeah. Okay, so when you compare Journey of Water, inspired
Journey of Water's broken right now. Continue,
right,
Jonas.
right, to DreamWorks Land, which is just down the way from Minions Land. Which of these two parks are children going to want to go to? You could try to talk to them about the Imagineering story and how great it is that Disney has these high-minded ideals that maybe they don't even espouse anymore about design and better theme parks and all this stuff. No, they want to go meet Poe. They want to go meet Shrek and Donkey. The Pinocchio meet and greet where he says things and his nose grows. And by the way, he looks like the Pinocchio in the movie. It's not even like a walk-around character that's not quite there. It looks like a blast. And Universal is able to do that with a lot less money. I just see so much right now about while Disney is in a slump, Universal is there just saying, "Oh, well, you want a fun ride? Yeah, we'll slap something together right here, and your kids will love it." Not to mention the fact that they're probably getting Legend of Zelda over at Islands of Adventure. That's a rumor, but sounds like a pretty sure thing. And there's a very strong rumor that they're going to get Pokemon over there where the Simpsons Land used to be, another dying Disney IP that Universal will be removing from their parks. I just see so much right here where Universal is hungry and Disney is bloated and fat and just wants people's money and hopes that you keep showing up based on the 100-year history of the company. I think if they can get in the door with one theme park like Epic Universe, this is where people will start to really see that, okay, well, maybe Universal is even just more cost effective, dollar for dollar. It's a more fun time. Or they'll realize that the dream of the 90s is alive and well over at Universal Studios. Universal Studios is what Disney used to be in the 90s. And I love it.
They took the spirit of Eisner before he fell for the traps of cheap studio buildings, and they ran with it. You know, Jonas, one of the things I've noticed about Journey of Water, the Moana attraction at Epcot, is one, it really struggles to stay open fully. Maintenance issues abound. That's not unusual now for things designed by the new set of Imagineers. I've also noticed that I think the quality of Imagineering has diminished so dramatically that it's hard to escape the curiosity that perhaps purging out so many of their legacy Imagineers was a really, really bad idea, and maybe hiring along DEI guidelines, not great either. But also, you look at Moana's splash pad, there's so much stuff in there about water conservation and all of these sorts of things. And you got to think, well, you know, that probably works pretty darn well in Southern California where you're draining Lake Mead dry. But when it comes to Florida, where they're having to have retention ponds because there's so much water, they can't even, you know, you got to find places to put it. Maybe not well suited for the Sunshine State, although, you know, waste not. But talking about wasting not, $9,000 for a Disney vacation, folks, we're here to tell you, as much as we might want you to get to experience that generational passing of the torch where you go down the Main Street USA with your child towards Cinderella's castle, whether it is in Disney World, whether it is in Disneyland, $9,000, I think that's going to be hard for folks out there to stomach. And I think Disney's got to get their head wrapped around this idea, their mind wrapped around this idea that maybe, perhaps they've got to find those discounts, Jonas, that you've been talking about. But, folks, discount us not, please. We beg of thee. Click the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and let us know, what would you spend to go to the happiest place on Earth or the most magical place on Earth? And do you think that Epic Universe is going to be a greater value add? Jonas, tell the folks out there where they can find you on this great, big, beautiful web.
Well, you can find me over on That Park Place, the I'm going to say the brother channel to this one. We participated in WDW Pro Leak Week. If you want to go look at our last week of videos, we're covering some of the same topics, but also leaks that are exclusive to the channel, talking about the phone fatigue revelation that Walt Disney Imagineering acknowledges that the phones are a problem within the park. They aren't acknowledging that they're charging too much to guests, though. They're just looking for ways to monetize. You can hear all about that on That Park Place. Of course, we do TPP Live every Thursday at noon, and we'll have an extra magic hours at 10 p.m. Eastern time on Monday night, and it's going to be a blast. We're going to be going over the new landscape as Bob Iger and all of his colleagues try to resurrect cable.
Well, I'm excited to go watch it, and folks, I hope you're excited as well. We're probably going to cross that 70,000 subscriber mark here on the channel soon. You could be one of those who joins the Pro Nation. Hop in today and become a subscriber, and let's celebrate 70K next week. We hope, we pray, we wish. We'll see. All right, folks, that's it for us today. We love Disney parks, though, because they are the things which Walt built, and the things that Walt built are still beautiful. We just hate that Disney has squandered so much about them and now is charging an arm and a leg, perhaps even a kidney, for you to get in. All right, folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
I just found out to get WDW Pro's information, where he gets his sources. I can't believe he uses Wilton.
What?
We got a job to do. It's easy to hack into WDW Pro's computer.
You're kidding me. That's awesome. You know any other stuff?
Yeah, just Jonas Campbell told me.
Sweet.
Said Pro underpaid him or something.
A few minutes later.
There. Oh, awesome. Whatever. All I gotta do is hack into this thing. It's gonna be so easy.
Yeah, this isn't a hack.
Grab this picture over here.
Leave it to me.
Oh, no. Oh, Wilson.
Job done. What?
No, all we had to do was use the picture because he uses Face Unlock. Now we gotta go to thatparkplace.com and sub to him and his team on YouTube.
Oh, well, I already did that because I'm smart.